their presidents shoved into a bus. And you see, Babylon still thinks that Africa is about its presidents. No, Africa is about the people, the 1 billion people who cannot be represented by 50 sellouts or 54 sellouts or however many. It doesn't work like that. And the optics of that situation worked against Babylon. And you know what? Before I even continue, let me give a shout out to the Ethiopian female president, who is the only one. I love this woman. She's so classy. I mean, she used to work for the UN before, so she understands protocol. And she was just like, listen, my embassy my Ethiopian embassy, they have their protocol people. We have our protocol cars. There's no way I'm going into a bus. There's no way. And you know, the British government tried to say, oh, due to the logistical nightmare of the situation, we can't allow every president to come in their car. So we'll just put them in the bus. I think even the Asians one were put in the bus, and only like 5 presidents: Biden, the Japanese, the French, the Canadian. Was the Canadian guy allowed to drive it? I don't even care. I don't even know. But the message that was sent, this has worked against the British Empire, because people are seriously like, this is not it. The youth are like, no, this is not it. And you could see that even our African presidents are embarrassed, family. They were uncomfortable being in that situation. And a lot of people were making fun of them, how they have these grand motorcades here in Africa, where we have the 21 motorbikes and all these things. And yet here they are, that they've been told, they go to the divided kingdom, they're all pushed into a bus like commoners. What do you think the optics of that were, family? Seriously. And also, shout out to Museveni. I think also him, he was like, oh, hell no, I ain't doing all that. But how embarrassing that out of all the African leaders, only 2 declined the invitation or had the balls to decline. Because a lot of them, I feel it was arm twisting.
That's what it come down to, having the balls. At the end of the day, that's what it come down to.
It could affect our business relationship, for international relations, blah, 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 blah. Even our president, who had just been elected, found himself on the bus. And Kenyans were like, whoa, really? Are you taking us back there? And I think like the biggest wake-up call, and I'm even glad it happened, that all these presidents went in that, the biggest wake-up call, because I know these guys are on social media just like you and I, is that they saw how embarrassing it was and how the people, it dropped them a couple notches among their people. The optics were off, family. And it brought up, I keep saying, our voice is back.
I'm not capping, man. I'm not capping. With what I'm sharing with you, it's very real. It's very, 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 very real. I'm not capping. I'm not playing no games. This is about education. This information is for liberation. You know what I'm saying? Liberation, education. This is what's going on. So I'm gonna go ahead, keep this sweet. You heard me talk. So we're gonna jump into the gold mountain in Uganda. I want to jump into that clip. That's not necessarily an audio clip. That's more of, let me get up out of here. That's more of a read. So let's jump into that. Bam, bam. Let me go ahead and remove myself. So let me see what I got here. Well, we can still see it. So basically, as you can see, as I read before, these are the details. First and foremost, 12 trillion USD. 12 trillion USD. I mean, it's it speaks for itself. I'm not gonna sit up here and continue to basically beat a dead horse in that respect. I just want to take the time and let's just look at this for what it is. So we got 12 trillion USD that these clowns have in place. And as we continue to look at it, basically here it is, where they're serving it up fresh for the Chinese. In a bid to boost the country's economy, the Ugandan government has licensed Wagagi Gold Mining Company, a Chinese firm, to start producing gold products in Busia district. The company embarked on the construction of its gold refinery valued at USD 200 million in phases in the district in 2016. So this is not even new. So basically, it's already a shoe-in. Man, that's like, this is equivalent to me going to your house, finding gold, finding oil in your backyard, and then like, all right, man, you pay me to walk out your backyard and get in my car and take it to my spot and then sell it and make riches off of it. That's basically the equivalent of what's taking place. You got a gold mine in your backyard and you're paying me to basically come in your backyard and get rich. Man, this don't make no sense. Let's keep it pushing because y'all done heard me talk about it. So this is the gentleman that they locked up. This is his name. You can read it. I don't want to continue to butcher it because I don't know if my pronunciation is on point. But and there's a lot to because there's a lot to consider with this, because when Samia got in office, she instantly made a move over there because this guy had fled the country. I mean, he was living in exile. Real talk. I forgot what country, but he fled the country. I mean, this cat got out of Africa altogether. But she went over there and she's gonna act like she's making amends. But the only reason why she's doing that is because she does anything to throw shade at Magufuli. And notice, what vice president in the history of mankind has ever not said one single positive utterance of a word, of a phrase, of a sentence, of anything, of homage? This woman paid homage to the Queen of England and ain't even paid no homage to Magufuli. And she was the vice president. This man trusted her with his life. And that's the problem. He trusted her with his life. So let's keep it pushing. As you can see, arrested for sedition. In March of 2017, he was detained for uttering words intended to wound religious feelings, raise discontent, and ill will for unlawful purposes. That's why you got to rise up. And don't get it twisted. Don't think that like when you read something like this, for those that are in the West or are different places that they think are more liberated, you're like, hey, I'm glad I'm not there. Because guess what? The path that the world is going on, we all are headed to a dictatorship just as that. We can't even post what we want to post on social media. I got to call the jab, the AI, because I know gematria. And for those who follow me and for those who see me drop that from time to time, you got an ideal about like, okay, I know he's talking about A is the first letter. A is the first letter and 9 is AI. Yeah, let that marinate, process that, look that up, and they say what it do to you, artificial intelligence. But I ain't gonna get off into that sandbag. That's story for other days. I gotta hit the Dr. Mommy. She be on it. She got her little spills. So that's that. I ain't gonna spend a lot of time on that. Again, this what this guy was arrested for. I think I made my point. So let me keep it moving. We're gonna show this buffoonery here, just as I alluded to it before, because this is what she's trying to set everybody up with the okie doke with. That's what they do. They play your little music so they can ease you to sleep. They play a little music. That's one of our biggest problems anyway. I don't even know how we celebrate. And I love music. Don't get it twisted. You can catch me dancing, attempting to dance, whatever you want to say. I love music. But at the end of the day, like, we might need to take a break, man. What we really celebrating, you know, some things are for victories and for celebratory moments. What are we celebrating? What are we really celebrating? That's a whole nother conversation. I'm gonna let y'all look at this buffoonery right here. What are we celebrating, though? What are we celebrating?
Na Mheshimiwa Rais tayari amekwisha pata chanjo yake,
You see how she threw her hands up like,
kama
see,
tulivyoweza
nothing happened.
kushuhudia,
Of course, they using you to get to all the other people. They ain't gonna kill you. They would never get to all the other people in time. At least
ambapo
not
ameweza
right now.
kupata chanjo
You
hiyo.
know what I'm saying? Boy, I tell you. And she got 5 years. I read somewhere like from the time that Magufuli transitioned, however it was, that she had 5 years in
Na
office.
Mheshimiwa Rais anasema
Magufuli
kwamba
had just got
ukishachanjwa
reelected
tayari
for another
maelezo yako
5-year
yanaingia katika
term.
database
So
duniani
figure
kwamba
that
wewe
out.
umeshapata
This stuff
chanjo
was
hiyo. Na
planned,
sasa
man.
basi
This
nimkaribishe
stuff was planned. They playing with us. They playing with us. We better get about this business, man, and stop acting like this don't affect us on a day-to-day. It's affecting all of us, whether we want to admit it or not. All right, let me back up and show this old crazy foolishness right here. Here's another one that I alluded to.
Na kucheza kulabata sana. Today, I'm pleased to announce our partnership with the government of Tanzania under the United States government's initiative for global vaccine access.
Amesema vizuri Mheshimiwa Mkuu wa Mkoa Amos Makalla, wanaopelekwa ICU, wanaopata uviko na kulazwa ICU ni wale ambao hawajachanja. Na amesema vizuri mkuu wa mkoa, ndio maana sasa hivi wenzetu Ulaya hawavai tena barakoa, wanasalimiana kwa kupeana mikono, kwa kubusuana, kwa sababu wamechanja. Lakini nataka niseme, kama unasafiri kwenda nje ya nchi, unapaswa kuchanja. Ukichanja huna sababu yoyote ya kuulizwa umepima hujapima. Kwa hiyo chanjo ni muhimu sana. Rais wetu Samia Suluhu Hassan anaifungua Tanzania. Ili aweze kuifungua Tanzania, wageni waje na watuamini Tanzania kwamba ni salama, ni lazima tuongeze idadi ya watu ambao wamechanja. Kwa hiyo nitoe wito kwa Watanzania kwamba tutawafikia maeneo yoyote ambayo mtakuwepo ili tuweze kuwahamasisha na kuelimisha kuhusu kuchanja. Na kwa sababu nipo na wakuu wa mikoa, nataka kuelekeza kwamba chanjo hii dhidi ya uviko 19 sio lazima, ni hiari. Tuwaelimishe na kuwahimiza wananchi kwa nini wachanje, kwa nini ni muhimu wao kupata chanjo. Lakini la pili ambalo nataka kulisisitiza pia, ninawashukuru sana watoa huduma za afya wote kwa kujitoa katika kuwahudumia wagonjwa katika vituo vya kutoa huduma za afya. Lakini nawaomba sana, Mtanzania yoyote asinyimwe huduma anapokuja hospitali kwa sababu hajachanjwa.
You know what's sad? Excuse me. This broad didn't even waste no time telling you the agenda. She got right into it real fast. You need to do this. You need to make a choice to do it. Basically, so they will the guests will visit here, so they'll come here and travel here. I mean, man, this is pathetic. This is it's sad. It's sad. And you see all those brothers and sisters that was in the crowd before they put the camera on her, man. Like, see, these are things the type of things that my heart go out to. Like, man, you know what? I'm telling you, like, I used to be on that ferry at times, and I'm speaking of the smaller ferry in Dar, Kingaboni and stuff like that. I used to be on that ferry at times. And, you know, and even the one from Zanzibar in general, everywhere when I walk around and, you know, just be packed up in that ferry. And I'm just shoulder to shoulder with, you know, Babas and Babu and, you know, Mama and Bibi and, you know, Toto and you name it. And it's just, I just see so many innocent people. I see so many people being steered like sheep to a slaughter. And it's sad. It's very sad. And that's why I talk, man. That's why I talk. Because that's what I see. That's what I see. That's what I see. All right, let's jump into this. As I told you, you know, she all over the place. Look how dark America is. Now, obviously, Tanzania is going to be the darkest because she lived there. But, you know, we think, you know what I'm saying? But she lived there. She's the president of that nation. But look how dark America is. I mean, what the hell's in Alaska? I wonder what's going on up there. I mean, maybe they're just signifying America, but I think it's a little dot on Hawaii and stuff. And it says where she was at. She was in the Sin Cities. She was in New York. She was in Los Angeles. And she was in D.C. You know what I'm saying? New York, Los Angeles, and D.C. So here's the map. There you go. New York, September the 18th through the 24th. And then here, Washington, D.C., New York City, and Los Angeles, April 14th, April 28th. So that's what y'all president doing. She rubbing shoulders with France, with Belgium, United Arab Emirates. You know, that's what she doing. That's what she on. That's what she on. That's what she on. United Kingdom, Scotland. Yeah, that's what she on. All right, so basically, let's go to this other Dr. Mumby video. Let's get this crunk.
Disappointing, I'm telling you, where, you know, they say it's because we're grappling with food insecurity and a quote unquote devastating drought. You know how they use these words. So they said that, you know, the cabinet actually lifted the 10-year ban on GMOs. And they said that, you know, open cultivation and importation of white GMO maize is now authorized, et cetera, et cetera. And they said based on the task force that came up with recommendations. Now, if you've done your research, you know, family, that's what I've been saying, start growing your own food. And the messed up thing about GMO is you could be doing your organic thing here, then your neighbor over there is growing, you know, GMO stuff, and that GMO stuff will literally sterilize your little GMO thing. That's why people need to start creating barriers around their land. And obviously the physical barriers aren't enough. People need to be empowering themselves spiritually to protect their land. But family, you need to be producing your own food as much as possible. Like, seriously. And, you know, so they go on about why this, you know, Kenya needs to do this at this time, et cetera, et cetera. But this is like so much. I wish you could see how viral this has gone on Kenya's Twitter, where Kenyans on Twitter are saying this is the worst decision. He's literally leading us to famine. He's literally leading us to food shortage. And the irony is that how would a godly government agree to ungodly seeds? I mean, to an anti-God agenda.
That's for all them Allah
if you know
Jesus
the
Christ
GMO agenda,
say
you know it's very
freaks,
anti-God.
you know, I'm just calling it what it is.
You know, they're putting all kinds of things
freaks
in there. They're taking genes from animals and all these things. And the sad thing is, family, to be very honest, like when I was living by Mount Zion, what I realized is a lot of our farmers, because they were small scale farmers, they already use kind of GMO products, but the difference is they're made by our labs, and it was all like, it's all vegetable, you know, it's all vegetarian stuff. So if it's a tomato, and maybe they'll bring in something else from a potato. But what these guys are saying is like, now you can bring in animal genes. Anyway, let me not get too into that, family, but you need to understand, overstand, and understand the GMO agenda. Just go hashtag GMO if you're in Kenya, and learn from yourself, because there's excellent articles that were even written by Kenyans where they said this is an ecological disaster. This is not the way we want to be going.
Zanzibar.
But for them to pick this anti-God agenda, it kind of makes you wonder. And you know what? Another thing is,
you
family,
know what I'm saying?
that I found strange is that the government,
man,
has literally met the U.S. government like almost 3 times. He's been like in government 3 days, and he's already met them like literally every day.
Shaking hands with these cats is not gonna work.
Like, what's up with that?
It's not gonna work.
Should we now stop believing the rumors that he is like a project of the divided states? Because that.
All right. So what else are we gonna hit? I don't want to hit that point yet. Oh yeah, I got some juicy stuff right here. I told you I was coming with the receipts, right? I told you I was coming with the receipts. And I'm gonna make sure y'all can see this. So oh yeah, there we go. So as you can see, President Samia has announced 5 days of national mourning. Now you can find this anywhere. It didn't take no great, due diligence on my behalf, as opposed to just getting the material itself, that the link that I have referenced. But these are obviously very verifiable sources. You can look at the top. You can look at these on all news feeds. I mean, they're having a 5-day mourning. This woman was a vice president to John Magufuli. She didn't even have no mourning for him. She don't even say nothing positive about this guy. The other disrespect. This woman she never gives him any shine. She never even commend him publicly. I'm telling you, I got there sometime around mid-year of 2021, and I have not one time, but it ain't just about me, locals have not heard her say anything positive about this guy. If you heard her say something positive about the guy, drop the comments below. Tell me what she said. If she said something positive about this guy, we know she ain't reinforced nothing because she done did a 180 against everything that he stood for. But I mean, she just so disrespectful. She ain't even finesse. You know what I'm saying? That sounds like a very, very just super traitor or super scary person. Either way, you shouldn't want anything to deal with either characteristic. Because if they're scary, they ain't gonna never do nothing for you. And if they're a traitor, they already took their sides, and you better recognize it's game time. Keep coming to me about the people not talking. I know the people are not commenting and things of that nature, and that's just telling in and of itself. But again, I showed you where a guy was jailed. Later, you can look at that same article and see how he was banned for even running. I also have some documentation. I didn't send that one to me in terms of how they the same party have been in place in rulership since 1972 to I think it's 90 something. It was 1977 to 1992, and something happened, and it's still been the same party ever since then. So it's been the same party ever since they quote unquote declared their independence, so to speak. Why are you paying homage to your oppressor? As I said in the last video, it's equivalent to basically going to your slave masters, being a slave on the plantation and going to your slave master funeral and crying harder than the damn family members and sitting on the front row than of the slave master himself. It's sad. I'm done with that. I mean, y'all got the point. I ain't got time for that no more. You got the receipt. Let's just keep it pushing, because this woman is pathetic. This woman is super pathetic. All right, so let's go with, get my cursor over here. All right, so let's go next with, oh yeah, you really need to see this one. This is big. This is real big. This is real big. So y'all, this is the link I was referring to. And I had to think about who sent it to me, and I knew I had forwarded it to, and I watched it, and it is brutal, y'all, and it's so sad. If you go type in that link address right now, it'll say video not available. Boy, these jokers, I'm telling you, you can't make this up. What they do and the way they hide stuff is unavailable. But I promise you, unfortunately, this was Maasai people being run off their own land, and as this title proclaimed, so Arabs can hunt lions, and they were shooting at the Maasai. This broad ain't did nothing about it. I told you I ain't got nothing but these receipts today. I ain't got none receipts. I don't talk unless I got receipts. Damn it, I am the receipt. Just call me the receipt. Don't go along just to get along. Receipt. You know what I'm saying? But bottom line is, this is pathetic, so I'm just let's just keep it pushing. If you hit the link, unfortunately, you can't see it, but I did find the image. You can find other links, but unfortunately, it just got a bunch of white folks. And I'll say that because it ain't like I'm running around here hating all white folks and things of that nature. But they keep doing the same thing, and you get this persona of who their aid or who they look forward to. And we know that's been the biggest problem since we can recall history. And that's all they do. So really all you have is, guess who's providing the narration of what's going on along these lines? It ain't nothing but white people that's doing this, that's with the Maasai, supposedly teaching them this and teaching them that. That's a whole nother thing I can get into. All this, like the women's thing, and how Samia tried to act like, oh, people didn't believe in me. Woman, stop lying. Stop lying. Why you lying? I mean, come on. The time for the transition in Makafuli when he was murdered, and then from the time where, allegedly, before they grabbed my stuff off the channel, allegedly murdered. From the time that he was allegedly murdered to the time that you took position, at what point was there enough a gap of time for people to even question you? She's doing nothing but playing these cards of the West, and the people know it, and that's why they're not in the chats, and that's why they're not in the comment sections disagreeing with me, because they know everything I'm saying is the truth, because they try to push that narrative, women power, things of that nature, and they've been letting white folks come over there, build these schools for girls, act like, hey, man, they're so oppressed, and I ain't saying nothing don't ever happen, but what I am saying, there's an agenda to that. I know the agenda. I grew up in America, and I read, so I know the agenda, and it would bode well for anyone that's listening to this to read as well, so you can get in tune to these agendas. But man, this woman is full of crap. They ain't talking about this. As a matter of fact, they yanked the link down. You ain't even got access to it no more. But like I said earlier, that's the type of times that we're living in. We're living in a time where censorship is an all-time high. But look at Event 201. They told us before they released this scam, you know what it is. Because I don't want myself to get yanked. I put too much time and effort for them just grabbing my stuff off of my channel. So look at Event 201. They told us they would do this. They even questioned, what are we going to do with the people with the social platforms that would speak out against this stuff when they released it? They already knew what time it was. And they said, hey, we have to deem it fake news. Man, just read, study, observe. Let's keep it moving. Read, study, observe. And this next one here. So I told you all I would bring these receipts. So again, here are the receipts. I told you. Didn't I tell you? I told you. Here it is about the census. They said that, basically, I read it verbatim. I know you can read it as well, but I like talking. Has basically Hassan Mtinga. I think that's right. They pick on me if I'm pronouncing it incorrectly. Has asked citizens not to suspend the census expected to be held on August 23rd, 2022, in order to help the government get accurate statistics of people and residents. You already know how I feel like that. I'm not even going to spend the energy going into why they don't deserve the right to be providing a census about anything when you provide absolutely zero aid to the people. What you count me? Get off my front lawn. What you count me for? And you ain't bringing nothing to the door. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, let me keep reading. He has said that according to the law, if someone suspends the census, the punishment is imprisonment. There it is in black and white. Look it up. Imprisonment. 2 years in jail. Censorship is not optional. Boy, these dictatorships are full out here. These dictatorships, there ain't nothing to smile about, man. Nah, there ain't nothing to smile about. These dictatorships are pathetic, bro. That's why I'm against all governments. This ain't no laughing matter, man. I ain't even gonna, you know what I'm saying? Nah, ain't nothing to laugh about that. That's crazy, man. They locking people up for not basically fulfilling their government. I can't even call it a duty because they ain't dutying. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna call it a duty, and then you ain't dutying. So basically, let me go ahead and keep it pushing. So, we have here the Nigerian woman. I want to highlight this as the last one. Basically, this young lady, let me see what we have here. Oh yeah, check this out. So this woman said, I was in Tanzania with my teenage girls in 2018. We were attacked and robbed by a group of men while walking from the beach to our apartment. I can honestly say the reaction and response of the Tanzanian police was awful. They did nothing. Even after reporting the incident, when we went back the next day, let me slow down, to ask for an incident report, the report had mysteriously disappeared. All they wanted was to be bribed before they could do anything. I was so disappointed and would not advise anyone to go there. Listen, I'm not bringing this up and I'm going through the weeds trying to find something and then like, oh, guess what I got? You know, I got the proof. It ain't even about that. What it is about, I've heard this story way too many times that it's too easy to find proof like this. And that's why I'm bringing it to your attention. I'm bringing it to your attention because in my first video, I clearly showed you how, or I told you rather, about my interactions with immigration, the airport, etc. So I'm telling you, this is what they do. This is what they do. And you know, to some degree, a little small part of me want to say, I'm being transparent. A small part of me want to say it's really not even their heart. It's their quote unquote leadership. And I really sincerely feel like that. I wouldn't say it if I didn't, because I've just had too many interactions that it was so genuine in dealing with the people, even officers and you know, whoever it may be. Man, it's these sellouts. It's these sellouts. And these sellouts got to be dealt with. These sellouts got to be dealt with. So look, I got more information coming. Samia, I'm on your ass. I'm on your ass, Samia. I ain't gonna stop. I ain't gonna stop. I'm not gonna make a life after coming and exposing you. But what I am gonna do, I'm gonna put enough information out there that stuff gain traction. You know, I'm going ahead and let you know that right now. So that's all I got. I wanted to give you guys the information. I have a bunch more, but I'm gonna package that a certain way and present that in another fashion. So stay tuned. Don't go along just to get along, because generally when you go along, it all goes wrong. Oh, shoot, that boy got them balls. All right, peace.